And while we've seen protests over Sessions' ouster, one group of people is happy about it: drug reform advocates. Here's Kellen Howell.
Jeff Sessions is out as Attorney General, and drug reform advocates are thrilled.
We're definitely glad to see him go. He was a disaster for drug policy.
Although President Donald Trump has been relatively hands-off on marijuana legalization, Sessions was notoriously anti-pot, and during his time in office, he took it upon himself to make drastic changes to the Department of Justice's drug enforcement policies. In January, he rolled back an Obama-era policy directing the department to not enforce federal marijuana prohibition in states that had legalized it. Sessions also directed prosecutors to seek the maximum allowable punishment for drug offenders. Both of these changes sparked public outcry and drew criticism from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
If the next Attorney General is smart, they'll see that there are a lot of Republicans that support criminal justice reform. They don't want the Attorney General wasting time cracking down on marijuana businesses. They want a public health approach to the overdose crisis, and that should be the direction the next Attorney General takes.
But supporters of Sessions' drug policies say his exit hasn't changed anything, and nothing will change if Trump appoints an Attorney General with similar views on weed.
Marijuana was illegal before Jeff Sessions, it was illegal during Jeff Sessions, and it'll be illegal after Jeff Sessions.
But whoever becomes the next Attorney General could issue new guidance, and marijuana advocates say the nominee for the job could face more scrutiny from Republicans this time around on drug policy.
I think you'll see this time round a lot more rigorous questioning of the candidate on things like marijuana legalization and sentencing reform, because there have been such flashpoints. And really the hope is that we have an Attorney General that doesn't get his drug policy ideas from the 1980s, because that would be a step forward.
Critics like Sabet admit that criminal justice reform around drug sentencing has become a priority for some Republican senators, but marijuana legalization on its own isn't a high enough priority to block the nomination. This week, voters approved ballot measures legalizing recreational weed in Michigan and Utah, and medical marijuana in Missouri, but a legal recreational marijuana ballot measure failed in North Dakota.
Now, speaking of marijuana, if you have a medical marijuana card, you can't buy a gun. That's the ruling from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Lawyers said Thursday they plan to appeal. Now, according to federal law, illegal drug users can't buy guns, and marijuana is still illegal under federal law. A Nevada woman who filed the lawsuit says she doesn't use marijuana, just that she got her card to show support. The court says people with medical marijuana cards should be assumed as users.